So this is going to be the video on the 5 things that I dislike about my Scat Pack Charger. I use dislike instead of hate because it is very difficult to find anything that I would hate about this car. So these are my 5 things. The number 5 thing that I dislike about my Charger, and these were all hard things to come up with, and I just really struggled to get 5 things that I disliked. So all I could really come up with is that the paint is a little softer on this car than other vehicles that I've had. Even with the paint coating, you know, I still got one little imperfection there that I had to fix. And then down here on the lower pieces, I don't know if you can see that, you can see some of the dinks, and they're just little dings in the paint. They're not even chips. And I drive the car in the same areas and in the same fashion that I drove other vehicles that I've had, including my 2016 Mustang GT that I had. And I had almost 7,000 miles on that car, and I didn't have any of those marks on it anywhere. So I just think this thing has a little softer paint on it. I have heard some complaints from other people that, you know, they find a bunch of imperfections on their paint, runs and whatnot in the clear, and I haven't found any of those things. I just needed 5 things, so this is the 5th one. All right, the number 4 thing on the list of things that I dislike about my Scat Pack Charger would be no standard HIDs on the car. You would think for over $40,000 for a car that they would come standard with HIDs, but nope, not the Scat Pack. Does have the LED fog lights, which really make the not having HIDs stand out that much more. So I just really believe that they should have come with HIDs from the factory. All right, so for number 3 on my list of things that I dislike about my Charger Scat Pack, it would be that the lack of SRT pages in this car. Whether what your opinion is, this car is basically an SRT, okay? So we really need the SRT pages to be in here. So when you go to the performance pages for a regular RT, I have a Scat Pack. As we know, that the front end and back end of the Scat Pack has the same body kit as all the SRT models have. So when the performance pages loads up, it's for an RT. There's an RT there, and for God's sakes, it's red, and you can't change the color. It just kind of is what it is. You know, Dodge, you could have did a little bit better with this. Gave us the SRT pages, or at the very least got there where we could change this to make it, you know, more look like our car. I love the Uconnect system as a whole, but this right here is just one of the things that I just didn't like. For number 2 on my list of the 5 things I dislike about my 2016 Charger Scat Pack, and if you've watched my mod video, then you know that I have the SRT paddle set in here, and the number 2 thing would be the small RT paddles. And for those of you that don't, you know, really understand the difference, this right here is the regular paddle for this. So they were so difficult to use and so small. As you can tell, it is super small, and when I have my fingers, you know, you'd be way down here trying to press it. So it's just, they're pretty not usable for me, especially if I was going down the road and trying to press the shifter up or down. You know, that just isn't enough. All right, here we are. The number 1 thing that I dislike, I can probably actually say that I hated this when I first got the car, that it had 245 tires on the back. Just not enough tire for this car. I know everyone knows this that's got one, and they probably figured this would be number 1 because I think it's everyone's number 1. The first thing I did was upgrade to 275s. But unlike most people, I do not think that Dodge did this out of spite or to save a few dollars. Because think about it, between the 245s and 275s, what are they really saving per car? Not very much on the grand scope of what the car is worth and how much they're selling it for. So I think that they simply just didn't think about it at all. They didn't even consider it. It was a in-between model between the SRT8 and the RT. I think they just thought of it as being an RT and didn't think about the power that they were putting behind it and left the 245s on it just like an RT. All right, guys, so that marks the end of another great video. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop some comments down below. Remember to hit that like button if you liked it and subscribe for more.